Hello everyone, and welcome back to Marin English Lab. I'm Liam.
Hi guys, I'm Olivia. Thank you so much for joining us today. Whether you're watching from Japan, the UK, or anywhere in the world, we're really happy you're here. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and the bell, because every week we make English lessons that are practical, fun, and actually useful for real life and for IELTS.
Okay, quick question for you right now.
What's the very first thing you do every single morning?
Do you grab your phone? Or do you actually stretch and drink a glass of water?
Honestly, most of us have a routine, but we never really talk about it in English, do we?
Exactly. Today's topic is one of the most useful and most common topics in everyday conversation and in IELTS speaking.
We're going to show you how to talk about your daily routine naturally, like a native speaker, and how to sound like band 7.5 or 8 in your IELTS test.
Ready? Let's dive in.
So Liam, let's start with you. Walk us through a typical weekday in your life.
Sure. My daily routine is pretty structured because I work in a busy marketing team here in the city.
I love hearing this, because your routine is so different from mine. Go ahead.
All right. I usually wake up at 6:15, but I don't get up straight away. I stay in bed for about 5 minutes, just breathing and planning my day.
That's a nice mindful start.
Then I get up, brush my teeth, and do a quick 10-minute workout in the living room. Nothing crazy, just push-ups and planks.
Wow, discipline.
After that, I make myself a strong black coffee, and I have a healthy breakfast, usually overnight oats with fruits and nuts. While I'm eating, I check my emails, but only for 10 minutes. I don't want to start the day stressed. By 7:30, I'm out the door. I cycle to the office. It takes me about 25 minutes, and that's my favorite part of the day, actually. Fresh air, listening to a podcast.
Which podcast?
Usually something about English or personal development. I get to the office around 8, and my work routine starts. I have meetings, create content, and sometimes I take a quick lunch walk at 12:30. I finish work at 5:30, cycle home, cook dinner. Usually something simple, like grilled chicken and salad, and then I relax. I read for 30 minutes before bed, and I try to sleep by 10:30.
That sounds so balanced.
It's not perfect every day, but on weekdays, yes, that's my routine.
Did you notice how naturally Liam used present simple, adverbs of frequency, and time expressions? We'll break all of that down in a moment. Okay, my routine is a bit more flexible because I create content and teach English online. I usually wake up at 7. I'm definitely not a 6 a.m. person.
Lazy.
Hey, I need my beauty sleep. So, I wake up, drink a big glass of water, and then I do 15 minutes of yoga or stretching. Breakfast is my favorite meal. I love avocado toast with eggs, and I always listen to music while I cook. After breakfast, I sit at my desk and plan the day. I usually film or edit videos from 9 till 12. Then I take a break, go for a walk, and grab a coffee. In the afternoon, I teach private IELTS classes online, so I'm on Zoom a lot. I finish around 6, cook dinner with my family, we always eat together, and then I relax. Sometimes I watch a Netflix series, but I try to read at least 20 pages of a book before bed. Lights out by 11.
I love that you make time for family dinner. That's something a lot of people miss these days.
Exactly. Routine isn't just about productivity, it's also about balance and happiness.
Right. Let's help everyone upgrade their English right now.
Here are some high-level expressions you can use when talking about daily routines, perfect for IELTS Speaking Part 1 and Part 2. I usually wake up at. My morning routine consists of. I make it a habit to. On weekdays versus weekends. I try to avoid. A typical day for me starts with. I wind down by.
And don't forget time connectors. First thing in the morning. Right after that. By the time I. Later on in the day. Before I call it a night.
Also, adverbs of frequency make you sound natural. I always. I usually. I often. I sometimes. I rarely. I never.
Try to use at least 3 of these in your next answer. You'll immediately sound more fluent.
Now, let's make this IELTS ready. This topic appears all the time in Part 1.
Here are 3 real Part 1 questions examiners love. What does your typical weekday look like? Do you prefer to have a fixed daily routine? Or do you like variety? Has your daily routine changed since you started working or studying?
Let me give you a Band 8 sample answer for the first question. Well, a typical weekday for me starts quite early. I usually wake up at 7, and the first thing I do is a short yoga session to wake up my body and mind. After that, I have a nutritious breakfast, which I think is really important for energy. Then I head to my desk and focus on creating content until lunchtime. I always make sure to take a proper break because I've learned that productivity drops if I don't move around.
Perfect. Notice the range of vocabulary and natural linking.
Now, moving on to part 2, this is where many students lose marks if they don't prepare well. You might get a cue card like this. Describe a typical day in your life. You should say what you usually do and when, who you spend time with, how you feel about your routine, and explain whether you would like to change anything. Let me show you how to answer this cue card naturally and fluently, like a Band 8 candidate. I'll speak at a natural pace so you can follow easily, and maybe even repeat after me later. Here we go. Here I'd like to talk about a typical day in my current life as an English content creator and teacher. My day usually begins around 7 o'clock in the morning. The very first thing I do after waking up is drink a large glass of water, followed by 15 minutes of gentle yoga. This simple morning routine really helps me feel energized and mentally ready for the day ahead. After that, I head to the kitchen and prepare my favorite breakfast, avocado toast with poached eggs, while listening to some soft background music. I find that starting the day with a calm and nutritious meal sets a positive tone for everything that follows. By 9 a.m., I'm usually sitting at my desk, where I spend the next few hours filming or editing videos for our Marin English Lab channel. I genuinely enjoy this creative part of my day because it allows me to share useful English tips with learners all over the world. Around noon, I always make time for a proper break. I go for a short walk outside, get some fresh air, and sometimes grab a coffee. This little reset helps me stay focused in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I teach private IELTS classes online, so I spend quite a lot of time on Zoom, interacting with students from many different countries. Helping people improve their speaking skills is actually one of the most rewarding parts of my routine. When evening comes, I cook dinner together with my family. We always try to eat at the same table and chat about how our day went. For me, this family time is really important because it keeps our relationship strong and gives me a sense of balance. After dinner, I usually wind down by reading a book for 20 to 30 minutes before going to bed around 11 o'clock. Overall, I feel quite satisfied with my daily routine. It has a nice balance between work, health, and quality time with family. However, if I could change just one thing, I would probably try to reduce my screen time in the evening, because sometimes I catch myself scrolling on my phone longer than I should. But apart from that small point, I'm genuinely happy with how my typical day looks right now.
Wow, that was excellent, Olivia. You covered all the points on the cue card smoothly, used rich vocabulary like mentally ready, sets a positive tone, rewarding parts, and wind down. And you even added personal feelings at the end. That's exactly what examiners love to hear in Band 8 answers.
Students, please remember, when you practice part 2, speak for at least 1 to 2 minutes, cover every bullet point, and don't forget to include how you feel and whether you want to change anything. That personal touch makes your answer much more natural and impressive.
Exactly. If you want, you can pause the video right now, take 1 minute to make quick notes, and then record your own part 2 answer using the same structure. When you finish, come back and compare with Olivia's version. It's one of the best ways to improve. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe so you never miss our weekly videos.
Next week, we're talking about your hobbies and free time, which is another super common IELTS topic.
Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking English every day. Bye everyone. See you in the next video.